speaking of guys getting looks as far as rookies, guy we've talked about often on our show is LRZ, who would be the fourth or fifth running back. And like we said, pretty much outside of Pacheco, the only one who really looked good today was Carson Steele, who's going to be getting a little fullback, little running back reps. Outside of that, CH, he only touched the ball a few times. Didn't really do much with it. Deneric Prince didn't really do much today. Keontae Ingram didn't do much today. Amani Bailey didn't do much today. LRZ, from an all-around perspective, interesting. But from the running back perspective, he didn't really do much. He caught a screen pass. Pass blocking looked rough, and obviously we pass protection. We talked about that's going to be his trouble. Couldn't really get much going from the ground. That's also from the offensive line was atrocious. I mean, the twos and threes, they couldn't really get much going. There was not a lot of push up front. But the LRZ, the cool thing about what he did today, the guy's already kicking off as well. I mean, we talked about his special teams, what he could be a special teams dynamo, kind of all over the place. And he's kicking off balls, and we hadn't really seen much of that. And then we see Butker almost allow a kick return for a touchdown for the safety. And then a couple quarters later, we have LRC kicking off to have an extra tackler in there because kickoff looked pretty rough today. So, JD, what did you make of the way they used LRC?
I think it's what you have to do with him. You got to see where he's going to be able to fit, right? Throw him out here, try him out preseason, see what you can get out of him. And I think that's because you never know what you're going to find. This is the first time him getting some real game action. And so I know his head was spinning, just trying to understand everything because now you're not running against the same system, not the same defense you see all the time. It's different bodies out there. And so it's a different thing. But look, we know what's going to be a project. We said that. We'll see how everything's going to shake out these next few weeks with him. But yeah, man, throw him in there. See what he can do. Throw him in there. Why not?
Tej, your thoughts on the LRZ experiment? You haven't really gotten to talk about the LRZ experiment at all.
I haven't been surfing the wave, man. I think he's going to have to make an impact anywhere he can. Running back, even though it does sound pretty open for the third spot, it's still pretty tough competition between Prince, Steele. So that's going to be tough. So he's going to have to just find any edge he can. Kickoffs they're interesting this year because the way they are, I mean, you're going to have kickers get like their hands dirty, right? And I don't know how that's going to go. You might see, imagine you start seeing kickers get like hurt on an ongoing basis because like they're going to have to they get mixed up and like start making tackles on a regular basis. That's not going to be good. They're going to have to like rethink this whole thing if they see like 5 or 6 kickers get hurt in like week 2. So yeah, you might have to start getting guys to kick off, someone else beside the kicker kick off who can do other things and help out in other parts of the field. So he might have to take that role on.
You know what? I think, and I agree with you on that. Buckner turned down one today, boy. He turned it down. He wasn't even going to try to attempt to make it.
And he just got paid too, so it's not.
He got paid. He said, "Hey, look, man, they don't pay me for this.
Yeah,
they do not pay me all this money to make that tackle. Okay, yeah. That's what you guys." But for Dave, Tobe, he's going to make sure he's going to be pissed. He's going to be pissed in special teams, really, because there's missed tackles, guys not getting off blocks. It was atrocious. The way that it looked shouldn't have happened. And I get it, Snoo, but to be the only team to give up those type of yards on a return, that's embarrassing. It is embarrassing. And I don't say that lightly. I'm not saying it to hate on the guys or not, but they want to get that fixed immediately. And I could guarantee Dave's going to come in and he's going to ready to overturn some things, turn some things over. So, and guys need to understand, if you want to make the team, if you're on the cusp about to get cut and you think you might be one of those numbers, you better make sure that you're as tight as you possibly can in special teams. I don't care. To me, that's the messed up part is you can't find yourself getting off a block to make a tackle, and your job is on the line, your career's on the line. You might get cut. Be on the street these next couple of weeks, I need to find some dogs out here in the special team who want to play, who want to win a championship and go for a three-peat. So somebody's going to have to figure it out.
I will say, too, as a big fantasy football fan, if you want to find an edge, if your league does kickoff return yards, try to pinpoint the guys who do it, because there were a lot of return yards in this game. I mean, we had the Hardman one, not counting that, right? Because he was -1, he got a safety.
Yeah.
But all the ones we actually return, 32 yards, 31 yards, 25 yards. On the other side of it, 73, 45, 25, 23. The lowest yardage return was 23, not counting the Hardman one. It was an average of they had an average of 41. We had an average of 22, counting the Hardman one. You take the Hardman one out, our average was 28 yards. So that's a lot. So I don't know if that's an adjustment that's going to be made, or if that's just how it's going to be this season with return yards. I don't know.
Shoot, it better not be. Had to get somebody fired. So that's how that works. And like I said, the team is as tight as possible. And if I'm looking at this, and I'm thinking, look, it's about field position. And we're giving up on average 28, 30 yards. I'm doing a bad job. Okay? So that's unacceptable. And it can't be the standard. You know, you're talking, look, we need to be somewhere at least down in the teens, if anything. Okay? If that. So, yeah, you can't be nowhere up near that at all, you know, so.
Yeah, we definitely looked ill-prepared today, to say the least. And I want to go to this other guy, JD, who you said you wanted to watch for in this game, and that was last year's first-round pick, FAU, King Felix. And this man, the starting left tackle, the number 2 left tackle, it didn't matter who was in front of him. He was getting pressure all night long when he was in the game. He was back in the backfield all night long. And I don't know if it's because he worked with Tamba this past offseason. I don't know, but that man looked like the first round pick that we drafted. What did you guys make of FAU?
I expected more, to be honest with you.
Oh, okay.
I actually didn't read it that way. I think there was times that he was kind of out of gas. Probably should have gotten some more pressure than what he did. And I think he's still developing. I think he's still kind of unsure a little bit. But at some point when he gets in his mind on how good he can really be, then he's going to be able to tear it up. It's the same thing like when George Karlaftis, when he started figuring it out. And he just allowed himself to play. I think he'll be there. Okay, this is his second year, and I get there's a lot on him. He's going to be the starter right now until Charles gets back. But I wanted to see more from him. Wanted to see more, and not that he doesn't have it in him. I know he has it in him. That's what I'm saying. That's why my expectation for him was so high, Marcus. I guess that's what I'm saying. But I wanted to see a little bit more pressure than what I did. I want to see a lot more, not just a little, a lot more. Okay. Hopefully, once he looks at this film, the very next game, man, he's going to turn it loose. Okay, and be ready. So that's my opinion. All right, Teja, you might have a different take. What do you think? Marcus kind of gave his. What do you think?
I think he looked. I think he looked improved. I think maybe the game is slowing down for him too. He had a nice inside move. He was in the backfield a couple times, getting pushed around a little in the run game, but it's improvement, right? I just don't want him to be a friggin' bust. Just at least be a contributing player on defense. You know, I don't even need him to be a 10 sack. I mean, 10 sack guy, that'd be great, but just keep improving. Really, if he just improves from last year, I'd be happy just from that. And it does look promising from a first preseason games perspective. How worried are you guys that he was still playing like in the third quarter? Do you think that matters in terms of no?
I think it's kind of like to my point, man. Of want to see more.
They want to see more.
You got to get ready, man. And look, when this thing is happening, you're the starter. You're the starting defensive end, okay? You're the rush guy, okay? You and Malik, y'all going to be the guys out there rotating. We got to get you ready, okay? We got to get you tired. We got to see what you can do. You haven't played a full game before where you had that many snaps. So, yes, this is why it's important to start to have preseason for guys like him, all right? Practice is one thing, but game speed and all that is something else. And so you gotta push a guy to his limit. You got to get him tired because now I got to see where you are mentally to deal with this, all right? If you're getting pushed around in the run game, okay, like they were, getting thrown around, that's not good enough, okay? I need to see more. And this is not, believe me, when I'm saying this is not a slight. I'm not saying this is a slight.
Yeah.
But if I know you can do more, show me more, okay? I know you have the ability. I know you can do more. Show me more. That's the reason you're still in there in third quarter, because it ain't you just arrived, okay? Yeah, you've gotten better, but you can be that much better than what you are right now. We need to see that, okay? So that's just me as a demand, as somebody who played in the NFL, me as a coach when I'm evaluating guys who you're going to be going against on Sunday, right? You can't get getting thrown at the club, against the second teamer. You can't. So when you're out here playing with the big boys, you got to show up. And I get first round pick, defensive end first round pick is a whole different thing, I think, as a wide receiver. I think it, to me, at least for me, because all you have to do is go get it. Just come off the football, right? And go get you a couple of sacks, get you some pressures. Those are things we need to see. So if you know the guy that's opposite of you, if Kalafdis is doing his thing, you need to be right on board with him too. So that's the reason I say that, right? I'm not saying that as a slight. You got the ability. Keep pushing your ability to be better than what it is right now. So.
Yeah, I do agree in the sense that there was a few games last year we saw him getting pressure, but it wasn't really finishing as far as like being able to get the sack in the end. And I think that was a lot of the elements of what we saw tonight. But I guess for me, it was like consistently seeing him get the pressure, get back there. Yes, it was into the third quarter a little bit. So I mean, yes, you were playing against inferior opponents. Hopefully, guy who was a first round pick played against some guys who might not even make the team. But yeah, I mean, nonetheless. I did see a little bit. It seemed like there was a little bit more confidence with him tonight than in comparison to last year. I hope so. Being second year,
he looked improved.
Yeah, he improved.
He had a nice inside move. If you can just keep working off that.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.